All right, guys, let's check our Monday morning work. We started off with some rounding. Now, the way I like to do rounding is I like to think about what numbers or what number is before and after that. So if we're counting by tens, and if you look, the first thing we were doing was counting by 10. So if we kind of count, I know you probably can't count out loud with me, but it would be 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. But what would come after that? 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, and we could keep going and going and going. Well, I want to think about 137. So if we think about 137 and all those numbers we just counted 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150. I just said two numbers that are before and after that. The number 130 is before and the number 140 is after. Now, 137, is that closer to 130 or is that closer to 140? You know what? This one is closer to 140. So let me change my color. Right here, this one is going to be closer to 140. Okay. Now let's actually keep going with our tens since our brains are kind of in the habit of counting by tens, and let's go into 258. So we have 258. All right. Sorry, I got all these pop-ups coming up on my computer. Let's see if I can move my camera for a minute. Let's get rid of that. Okay. All right, children. So now I know we're in the 200s, but we have 200, 210, 220, 230, 240, 250, 260, 270. And I could keep going, but I've already said a number that comes before and after. Now think about it. I know I'm in the 200s. So I know that, but I said 58. Now I can use that number a little bit because I know the number before is a 50. And what comes after 50? 60. All right, now 258. Is it closer to the 50 or the 60? You know what? Because it's 58, 59, 60, it's only two away. That one is definitely the winner. So this one is 260. Now, if you don't get these right, you can erase it and change your answers so you can get a 100 on this. All right. Oops, I need my eraser. All right, kiddos. Sorry, kids, I can't get my eraser to work. It's not wanting to. There we go. Now I got it. All right, kiddos. Now let's do our last one. We have 522. All right, so 522. Now I know we're in the 500s. It's just that I'm in the 522. So a number that comes before then is 20, and the 10 that's after that, think about 10, 20, 30. All right, now I need to think 522. Is that closer to the 20 or the 30? It's closer to the 20. So I'm going to put 520 right there. All right, my children. Now let's count by hundreds. 0, 1, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 100. I'm done. Okay, I have 137. Okay, so that is between, if I have a 137, that's in the 100s already. So what comes after 100? 200, since we're counting by 100s, okay? So 137, is that closer to 100 or 200? It's closer to 100. All right, now let's erase that and do the next rounding. I actually thought the rounding was the toughest thing, in my opinion, on the whole paper. That's why we're spending a little extra time on it. So 258 is in the 200s. Now, if you're counting by hundreds, what comes next? 300. Now, children, this one is a little tough because 258, it seems like it's kind of in the middle, but the perfect middle is 250. Well, that's 258, so it's a little higher. So this one is going to be closer to 300. All right, and then the very last one. Oh, come on, eraser. All right, my very last one is, let's see here, 522. All right, so that is in the 500s. And what comes after 500? 600. Very nice. All right, now 522. You got to think about, is it closer to 500 or 600? Yep, 500 is the winner. So we're going to put a 500 right there. All right, kiddos. Now let's go ahead and get to our addition and subtraction practice. And what I did with this, you don't have, it's not the only method, but I added each column. So 3 plus 1 is 4, and 7 plus 2 is 9 for 94. Now this one was a subtraction. We're going to do 7 minus 6 is 1, and 5 minus 2 is 3. All right, now let's add our ones column. So 7 plus 6 was 13, and 8 plus 3 plus 1. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, now for that, you're going to put your 2 here and your 1 in the next column, and then you have 1 plus 5, which is 6. All right, my kiddos, now we have 7 times 2. I want you to think about the number 7, and if you had it 2 times, how much would you have? You'd have 14. And then we have 2 times 7, which is the same thing, but this time we have the number 2 7 times. So let's count by twos. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. We still get the same answer. And these are fact families. So we have 2s and 7s and 14. So if we divide, which means we're breaking it into groups, 14 divided by 2 is 7, and 14 divided by 7 is a 2. All right, now let me move my camera. It's in the way. Let's see here. Let me see if I can move it over here this time. All right, kiddos. Now, area is how much space something takes up. Our side lengths, we had to think about how long or how wide it is, which was 2, and then how wide it is, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. And the total area is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is 8 squares. And you can just put SQ for squares. All right, now the time was a very tricky one. Remember, the little hand is for the hour, and it's not to the 12 yet. It's still on the 11. So we're going to make it 11, and the little dot, the colon separates the minutes and the hours. Now, it counts by 5. So count with me. 5, 10, 15, 20, but it went a little past the 20. It went to a 21. And then 30 minutes later, we're going to do 21 plus 30 more. So 21, 31, 41, 51. It's still going to be 11, but now it's going to be 51. All right, kiddos, make sure you have checked your paper and changed any answers you need to.